Good evening, and this is the WWE Raw Smackdown Summerslam Go Home show. This week was the WWE's last attempts to try to build up something for SummerSlam. But before we get to that, I just want to make an announcement that finally I get to watch. I finally live while it was broadcasting, but it was on television. It was a link on the Ring of Honor YouTube channel, in which you can watch it on comettv.com. There's a live stream. There's a live streaming link to it. It's typically just a sci-fi channel. You watch Stargate 1 and some other old sci-fi movies, but Ring of Honor appears on there on Wednesdays at midnight and in Eastern Pacific, 11 Central. And that's the midnight that when, it's Wednesday, then it turns into midnight. It was a great show between Leo Rush and I forgot what his name is, but man, I have to say that Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor Go Home show was way better than Raw and SmackDown. I mean, I haven't watched TNA Impact this week, but last week I'm going to try to watch it. I have to say, Ring of Honor and TNA are a lot better companies than this one. Especially what they've been doing these last 2 weeks, trying to build up the SummerSlam, and oh god. And I have to say, comparing Raw and SmackDown is like comparing garbage that really stinks to garbage that stinks. There's no real build up to the Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor match, and I got some problems with what they did on Monday night, especially what they did with Finn Balor, especially what they did with his demon persona, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on the show, but I just don't get it. There's supposed to be a new era, but let's face it, this is worse. This has gotten worse. This whole new rebranding stuff has ruined both shows, especially SmackDown. And they think that the Cruiserweight division is going to help Raw? No. Because if they can't even put more matches in 3 hours, I hate to see what the Cruiserweight division is going to be like, because it's going to be this 1-minute matches. At least in WCW, they gave the Cruiserweight some time to fight. But, what I saw on Raw SmackDown. Yeah, okay, let's get down to what happened on Raw. Well, Raw was held in Christie, Texas. Well, we started the show, and it showed what happened to Roman Reigns at interrupting Rusev and Lana's second wedding ceremony, all that. But at least on Raw, the United States Championship match is way better. They had a better build-up than the WWE Universal Championship belt, which I still think is the worst belt of all time. Should have been the combination of the United States and Intercontinental title. But yeah, this is the path they went down, and they're gonna die by it. So if they're gonna try to make the Universal title the best title of them all, and the way they constructed a match, Finn Balor won 2 matches, while Seth Rollins didn't win any matches. He was seeded to the championship match. And you would think that they would have some qualifiers for Seth, but just stick with the new old stuff. Okay, they start off Raw where Seth Rollins was outside in Corpus Christi, and he says that we are 6 days away from him proving he is the man and turning the inevitable into reality when Seth Rollins becomes the first ever WWE Universal Champion. And he says he wants to call out the DB King right now. He laughs and says that Bell is too scared to find him. He's going to go find the Demon King himself tonight. And then they go back to the ring, and Lana and Rusev were there. And then they were just pissed off at what happened to them last week, and then they called out Mick Foley. And then Foley was trying to get Rusev out of the ring. And then Rusev talked about him booking the title match at Summerslam because Reigns doesn't deserve a shot at his title. And said he demands Stephanie McMahon to come out the ring right now. And then Stephanie McMahon comes out. And then Stephanie calls out Rusev's behavior, says it's completely unacceptable. She says that Rusev demands respect, but he won't show any to a guy like Mick Foley who sacrificed his body for this business. Stephanie supports all of Foley's decisions, and Rusev demands that he deserves respect. And Rusev says that he wants to give Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon a call, saying that they appreciate the United States champion. And then Roman Reigns comes out. He says that if they want an apology, then he'll give one. He says that he apologized for Rusev going on the website where he got Lana, mentioning about the mail order bride. Then Reigns questions how hairy their baby will be if they decide to bump uglies. And then Reigns starts saying that he knows that they are scheduled to fight at SummerSlam, but he doesn't feel like waiting until then. And then they get in each other's face, and Stephanie and Foley try to break him up. Then Stephanie says that the title match will take place at SummerSlam. Rusev wants to defend his wife's honor. And then Foley proposed that Roman Reigns versus Rusev tonight to defend the honor of Lana. Okay. I have some problems with this. And one of them is the fact that they suggest that they're going to have a match that they scheduled for SummerSlam. They're going to have it right now. And after all the build-up to this match, they're going to ruin it by having a match right now. I mean, not now. I mean, later on in the show. But you see the problem? I mean, these guys haven't fought yet, have never fought against each other, and you got to give it for free right then and there. I don't know. I mean, this match was okay. I mean, this was the match that what should have happened at WrestleMania 31. Instead of having John Cena win the title away from Rusev. But the fact that they are going to put the match right then and there was Stupid. I don't. Then they made an announcement that Brock Lesnar will be back on Raw later on. Then it goes to commercial break. Then this show shoots footage of Sheamus costing Cesaro the United States title against Rusev last week. And then they go back to the ring, and Barter starts interviewing Sheamus. And he asks him that, and then Sheamus says that he proved that he was more dominant athlete last few weeks, and tonight he focused on Sami Zayn. Is that he said that Zayn hides behind his Twitter and his little comments. Okay. Okay, well, and then they had Sami Zayn versus Sheamus, and this match started with Sheamus and Sami Zayn locking up, but then Sheamus tackled Zayn. Then the referee tried to break him up, and this was before the bell rang. So then after the bell rang, Sheamus then starts attacking Zayn in the corner, but then Cesaro joins, the commentators way back away from the ring. And then Sheamus does a snap mirror Sami Zayn that kicks in the back, then drops a knee over Sami Zayn. That Zayn does a head scissors takedown Sheamus. And then Zayn tries to do the tornado DDT off the ring apron, but Sheamus catches him and sends him right to the steel ring post. And then a commercial break. See, the only problem I have with Raw, the major problem, is these commercial breaks. These commercial breaks are placed when the action is going on. I mean, why would you put a commercial break when the action would start getting good? I don't get it. It's been a problem, especially at Smackdown. I mean, it got worse on Smackdown because these commercial breaks during the action. I mean, at least TNA and Ring of Honor and New Japan, they can probably put commercial breaks, where the action wasn't that intense. But, I mean, after a match ended, that would be better. But with Raw, either the WWE doesn't give a damn about the wrestling, or maybe in order to make more money, they need more advertising on USA Network to try to stay on the show, stay on the network. Okay, I want to get a little quick with this review. Well, course break came back, and you see Sheamus attacking Zayn with a clothesline, and then Sheamus does a tilt-a-whirl slam on Sami Zayn, gets 2 count, then Zayn pulls down the top rope and sends Sheamus charging over the ropes to the outside. Then Sheamus trips up Sami Zayn from under the bottle rope. Then he jumps and throws a forearm into his chest, repeating. Then Zayn then lowers Sheamus with a clothesline out of nowhere. Then Zayn then clotheslines Sheamus over the top rope. Then Zayn hits the ropes, flips over, and takes out Sheamus on the outside. Then Zayn tosses Sheamus back inside the ring. Sheamus avoids a shot from Zayn off the top rope and connects with a white noise from another for another 2 count. Then Zayn does the Blue Thunder Bomb for the 2 count. Then Zayn just goes in the other corner, try to do a move to Sheamus to the opposite corner, but Sheamus catches him with the Irish Curse Backbreaker into the corner. Then Sheamus backs up in the corner, and then he was about to go for the bro kick. But then Cesaro gets from the commentator table from far away, then distracts Sheamus, and then Zayn does the Haluva kick. and gets a pinfall. So Zayn beats Sheamus. This was a very quick match, so again, the WWE doesn't have any plans with Sheamus and Cesaro. Okay, then the show backstage, you see Kevin Owens talk about his match against Big Cass later on tonight. And then Christian talks about how he's going to be, he got his back. And then Owens talks about how Cass does not spell soft. So then goes to commercial break. Then when they came back, you see Mick Foley try to break up Sheamus and Cesaro because they were brawling backstage. And then Foley announced that Sheamus and Cesaro are going to have a best of 7 match, a best of 7 series, and it's going to start at SummerSlam. So I'm looking forward to this best of 7 match between Sheamus and Cesaro because at least we get to see 2 athletes go at it. At least they finally got something for Cesaro and Sheamus to do. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the kickoff show. Well, then the next match is the Dudley Boys versus New Day, which is just Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. And I thought, hey, this might be the build up for the Dudley Boys to finally get that 10th title match. But it wasn't. And before I talk about the match, I just want to talk about what happened last week that I just hated. The fact that what they did to Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson last Monday Night Raw, I will never forgive the WWE or what they did. I mean, ever since they came to the WWE, they just started attacking tag teams, trying to assume their dominance in the tag team division. I mean, they were the badasses of the WWE right then and there. But last week, they gave them the worst gimmick possible for their character. Oh, the WWE thought it would be a good idea for them to become doctors, try to do research on ring posthitis because of what they did to Big E, in which they sent Big E into the ring post balls first. And so last week they started the whole research on ring posthitis, and it was horrible. It was just the worst gimmick possible for them. And then when they had a match last week, they were in their doctor's outfits. Doctor's outfits. And the Bullet Club is officially dead in the WWE. They're not the club anymore. They're not even them themselves. It just ruined it. And then before this match began, they did another video of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson doing research on ring posthitis, in which they ended up putting an egg inside a microwave and they started cooking it. And then the match started between the Dudley Boys and the New Day, in which Xavier Woods and Devon started a fight. But then Woods got distracted by Bubba Ray, and Devon got some shots in. Then Devon did a clothesline to Woods, and Devon started attacking Woods, attacks in Bubba Ray. Then Bubba Ray starts hitting Xavier Woods. But then Bubba Ray sends Woods face first to the corner and throws more rights to him. Then Woods starts to fight back, and Devon gets tagged tags himself in, but then he accidentally clothesline Bubba Ray. And then Bubba Ray gets rolled up. And then Bubba Ray rolls out the ring. And then Xavier Woods tags in Kofi Kingston, and then Woods pushes Devon away, and Kofi Kingston hits him with a crossbody, and then he delivers Trouble in Paradise to beat Devon for the win. And then after the match, you get to see what happened. They see a video on the Titantron in which the egg explodes in the microwave. And oh god. And then they said that they're gonna conduct more. They plan to conduct more tests. And then they need more test subjects, and they bring out 2 jars labeled Kofi and Xavier Woods. So yeah, they're gonna do this stupid ring post-itis to SummerSlam, and I mean, this just kills the build up to this championship match because it's silly, it's childish. I mean, I thought this would be a great match at SummerSlam. Probably the match of the night, especially with Xavier Woods in the ring. Or at least they finally get to let Xavier Woods fight. But the fact that they use ring post-itis just kills the momentum. And I'm not interested in this tag team match. And then, okay, then after commercial break, this shows Seth Rollins looking for Xavier Woods, looking for Finn Balor, but he finds Neville. And then Neville says that he's been in the ring with the Demon King, and he doesn't think Rollins is ready. So, yeah. Although I just want to ask people, right now, doesn't Neville look like Austin Aries? I mean, with the beard and all, he does look like Austin Aries. Okay, well. And then we get to Nia Jax against Rachel Levy, which is another local wrestler. I don't know. Before this match began, Rachel Levy gave this little speech about making dreams come true, try to beat Nia Jax, but once again, this was a squash match. Because when they locked up, Nia Jax threw Rachel down on the ground, and then Rachel started getting some good shots in, but then she started firing in the corner, but then Nia Jax lifts her up and knocks her off the top turnbuckle to the outside to the ground. And then Nia Jax goes outside, and then puts Rachel back in the ring, and then gets on her shoulders and does a finisher for the pinfall. So she wins, and then she kicks her out of the ring. So, yeah, squash match again. That's what the WWE is famous for now, squash matches. But yeah, I guess people like this. And then this so backstage where Paul Heyman is walking the halls, and then he knocks on Brock Lesnar's door and comes in. So then it goes to commercial break. And then after commercial break comes back on, Brock Lesnar comes to the ring with Paul Heyman. And then they re-show what happened when Randy Orton delivers the RKO to Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw. Then Brock Lesnar delivers the F5 to Randy Orton on SmackDown. And the one thing that I like about this build-up is that they had just two account. It had 2 meetings, and that's it. Randy Orton got him with RKO, proving that he can hit RKO on Brock Lesnar anytime. Then you have Brock Lesnar try to make it even with Randy Orton, delivers the F5, and that was it. He didn't go and beat up Randy Orton. He just left because it's even. And I think they're doing a great job building up to this match. They have no interaction, probably because they're in opposite brands. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do this quick, okay? And then Paul Heyman introduced himself, but then Heath Slater's music plays. And, once again, Heath Slater's trying to look for a place on Raw SmackDown because last week Shane McMahon was going to give him a spot at SmackDown, but then Heath Slater started to leave before he was announced that he had a contract. So then Heath Slater comes to the ring. Paul Heyman laughs. And then he tells him to laugh it up. He says he's been given an opportunity to get a Raw contract and appearance at SummerSlam if he can beat Brock Lesnar tonight. Then Slater asks Paul Heyman for permission to go one-on-one with his client, Brock Lesnar. Heyman says that the joke is over and wants Slater to cut out of the picture. Because he thought that Randy Orton had something to do with this. He thought, where's the money is? He says, then he talks about SummerSlam and then he starts talking about SummerSlam, but then he yells at him again. And then he says that don't disrespect him. He needs this. He has kids that he has to feed. They rely on daddy. My 2 little girls and all the other kids that I have are relying on me. And he said he doesn't want to face Lesnar, but he has to. Then Paul Heyman says that he is trying to save Slater's ass right now. And then Lesnar starts to talk. I have to say this is one of the best little promos that Lesnar gave. Ever since he came back, because let's face it, the last little times he's talked on the mic were horrible. And then he says to Slater to calm down. He said he appreciates what Slater is trying to say, and he has guts. And then Lesnar invites Slater inside the ring, so he does. And it says, I don't give a shit about your kids. And he tells Slater that he has 2 choices. He can walk out on his own 2 feet, or he can stand there and keep pissing him off. Then he drops the mic. Slater starts to get out, but then I guess he chose option 3, attack Lesnar. And then he goes on to try to attack Lesnar, but then Lesnar gives him a clothesline. He does 2 German suplexes and a F5. And then Heyman starts talking again. He says he gives Slater's credit for trying to go face-to-face with the Beast. Then Heyman turns to attention to Randy Orton, talks about how he calls himself a Viper. There's that Orton can't measure up to Brock Lesnar. And Heyman talks about how he is supposed to sell this match with Orton on Sunday and how Orton is only 1 RKO away from getting a victory over Lesnar. Then it says that Lesnar wouldn't believe that, and he doesn't either, that this is the summer of the Conqueror and the Beast is in heat. And I think this was the wrong choice to make. Talk about the Beast in heat. I think that shouldn't have been said right then. And he says that not a single member of the WWE locker room can stand up to Lesnar, and not even Randy Orton. And he's talked about here's the hype. This Sunday at SummerSlam, you have the chance to see a once ever athlete in action in an official match with an official result that will go down in history books. He says that you have a rare opportunity to see one of the greatest sports entertainers and athletes in combat sports. The Nightmare of Suplex City lives in the Nightmare of Suplex City live in action. The Viper Slayer this Sunday at SummerSlam. You get to see Brock Lesnar, and then they both leave. Feel sorry for Slater. At least this is a good build-up for the match at SummerSlam. Yeah. Okay, then commercial break. Then big cast with Enzo Amore versus Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, and this was a short match as usual. And before the match began, Enzo did a little promo about barbecue at SummerSlam. And then this Sunday, I don't know. I don't know, this actually was short, and this ended up with a disqualification by Big Cass because of what happened with Jericho interfering in the match. Well, actually, I don't know. And then, because it's Big Cass and Enzo versus Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, and I don't like to build up, and very interesting match. So, and then backstage, Roman Reigns gets jumped by Rusev, and then Rusev throws him to the steel doors, and he throws Reigns over the catering table, and the officials break it up, so that's good. And the next thing that happened was something that just, I don't get why they did this. This just no continuity to this. Because the next match was the Primetime Players with Bob Backlund versus the Shining Stars because of what happened on the Raw pre-show that you can see on YouTube, in which Bob Backlund brought them back together. It was a good match. I mean, they acted like they were back together, but then somehow when Bob Backlund and Titus O'Neil were talking to each other at the ring apron, Darren Young accidentally knocks Titus O'Neil off the ring apron. And then when Darren Young was about to win the match, Titus O'Neil delivered the Clash of the Titus. Then Epico wrote him up for the win. So, yeah. Yeah, they're going to build up to a match. So I'm guessing pre-show again, Darren Young versus Titus O'Neil. And to show another video package of the Cruiserweight division. Yeah, right, that was garbage. Then the next match was Jinder Mahal versus Neville. And I have a problem with Jinder Mahal's outfit. Because, before he just came out there with his white tights and white boots that I liked. But then when he came out, he had a turban. He was wearing all black with a black veil over his face. And I hate to say this, and I don't want to have any problems, but he looked like a terrorist. I'm sorry. He's Indian, but the WWE dressed him up like a terrorist, like a member of ISIS. And that was, with current events, with these attacks, it really didn't do any good for Jinder Mahal, especially this match versus Neville, because this was a squash match. I mean, Jinder Mahal didn't have a good offense, and this was quick. once again, you last week you had Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal to fight for a spot in Raw, and this is what you do with him. You give him a squash match when it never went over, and during this match, I think Neville was scared to break his ankle again because I don't know, there was a point in the match where he was on the top rope and then he tried to land on that mat, but then he got a little worried when he landed because it looked like he thought he probably injured himself again. Okay. Then it goes backstage and Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley talked about how Jon Stewart is going to be the special guest at SummerSlam this Sunday. And then Seth Rollins talks about he's trying to find a Demon King. And then said he has stuff to do and wants the night off. And then Foley's telling him to call out the Demon King inside the ring, unless he's scared. And then Rollins said that he isn't scared and we'll go do that. So commercial break. And then you see Seth Rollins come in the ring, trying to talk about how he's been trying to find a Demon King, aka Finn Balor. Let's say that. Finn Balor. And said that he has a special announcement. He said he wants to make tonight put the media on notice, and nothing will stop him from becoming the first ever WWE Universal Champion. He's giving the Demon King one more chance to come out to this ring and face him. And okay, and this is what I mentioned I had a problem with because and this was okay. So Rollins laughs, and then he said that Balor is scared of him, and then he said that Balor is going to be just like every other person that steps in the ring with him. They will get beat. He calls out the Demon King again. He calls him another chapter in the book of Rollins. And then he says that the Demon King is terrified of him. And it says that Finn Balor, I am the face of your failure. And at SummerSlam, you got nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. And at this point, and he had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. But then at this point, Finn jumps over the security barricade and jumps in the ring and try to attack Rollins, but security catches him this time. And Michael Cole didn't do shit to try to use this little moment to intensify this promo. But Rollins did do the right thing. He says that, hey, is that you, Balor? He did. I know he did a good job using that event to try to build up his match with Finn Balor. And then the lights go out. And then Balor does his little entrance just like in NXT, but I have problems with this little thing. I think it was too soon to do this, especially with this crowd. I mean, throughout Monday Night Raw, the crowd was dead, and you're gonna use the Demon King entrance right now, and especially how crappy the entrance was at Raw. I mean, NXT, they did a very good job. The first time I saw the Demon King entrance, it was great. I mean, it had the smoke. I mean, you can barely see Finn Balor. I mean, you saw something creeping in this fog, and I think that was great. And then you have the spotlights. I mean, you turn off all the lights, and you had nothing but the spotlights to light up on cue. But they didn't do it on Monday Night Raw. Oh no, they used the same lights to do that, and it was just awful. There was a little bit of a fog. It was just dumb. It was awful. I mean, the whole thing was awful. And then the Finn Balor gets in the ring, and then Rollins tries to attack him, but then Balor hits him with a drop kick. It does an overhead kick on him, and then attacks Rollins in the corner, and then he's about to deliver the coup de grace, but Rollins gets out of the ring, and that's how it ends. And God, I don't know why they did this. They didn't see. This is the problem. They don't know how to use these NXT wrestlers when they come to the main roster. They had a great opportunity, and they ruined it. I mean, you could have had Finn Balor come in the ring regular-wise, and then you would talk about, I'm not going to show the DB King to you now. I'm going to let you worry about that. That's all till SummerSlam, and let the DB King haunt your dreams, and turn them into nightmares. Because at SummerSlam, your nightmares will become a shocking reality. That would have been the promo that should have happened on Monday Night Raw, but it was awful. And then it was Golden Truth versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. This was a quick match, another squash match in which Gallows and Anderson won. And then afterwards, Kofi Kingston and Woods starts attacking Gallows and Carl Anderson. At one point, Woods was trying to hit Anderson in the groin, but Gallows pulls him out, and that's how it ends. Yeah. Then backstage, they saw Dana Brooks apologizing to Charlotte because, she lost the match against Sasha Banks that would put her in her match against Sasha Banks at SummerSlam. Charlotte versus Sasha Banks at SummerSlam. And then Charlotte said that she failed her when it mattered the most. And said that her spotlight, and that she said that this is her spotlight, not hers. Then Charlotte said that she plans on beating Alicia Fox for herself and will win back her title at SummerSlam. Then she said that Dana is replaceable. It says that she might ask Stephanie McMahon to find someone better for her. Okay, then Charlotte versus Alicia Fox, and you know what? Alicia Fox looked good. She looked like Beyonce, and I thought this was going to be her moment to show her skills, but no, this was another squash match in which Charlotte won with natural selection. And throughout the match, Sasha Banks was doing commentary, and then Charlotte called Sasha Banks out. Then she went in the ring, but Dana Brooks tried to interfere. Sasha Banks attacked her, and then Charlotte attacked Sasha Banks and put her in the figure 8 leg lock. And I guess they're going to try and say that she damaged her leg for the match. And then I guess you could call this the main event. Rusev versus Roman Reigns. Okay, this match was a lot longer than the other matches, and this was unnecessary. Because why would you give your main event? I mean, why would you give a match on SummerSlam for free? I mean, this ended with Roman Reigns winning with a spear, but still. I give money that Raw failed to try to build up SummerSlam. A fail at Balor's Demon King entrance. I hope they improve on it for SummerSlam, because if this is what they're going to do, then, oh God. Women's division is dead in the WWE. The only match to look forward to on the roster is Sheamus versus Cesaro in the best of 7. And it's going to be a long, long time until the Cruiserweight division comes, right after the Cruiserweight Classic. And I'm pretty sure that more than half of the guys participating are not going to be on the roster at Raw. Yeah. And then we turned to Smackdown, which was a little bit better. I mean, at least their main event has a huge build-up. So, Smackdown Live, which I don't know why they keep using that live part in their names. I mean, of course it's live. I mean, you don't have to put in your title. And this was live in Austin, Texas. And you see Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan talk about Team Blue is going to be the brand to beat at SummerSlam. And then, I don't know why, Shane asked Randy Orton to sign a contract against Brock Lesnar this Sunday. And Orton says that the match might not go as long as anticipated. It's going to take one RKO and a 3 count. Then he signs a contract. And what I don't understand is, did Brock Lesnar sign a contract? I mean, why didn't they show that? I mean, did Brock Lesnar sign this? I mean, why didn't it show him sign the contract? And then Heath Slater comes in and he talks about that he comes back for his contract, in which Shane and Daniel Bryan were going to give him last week. But Shane said that no, he had his chance, but then Randy Orton suggested that him and Slater will have a match later on, and if Slater wins, he gets into SmackDown. Yeah. And then it gets to the ring, and it's Miz TV, where he's going to interview Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. And the Miz went on his little stick, but then Dean Ambrose's music plays before the Miz can introduce them. And then Dean Ambrose starts to talk, but then Dolph Ziggler's music starts playing, so I guess everybody's interrupting everyone. And then Ziggler apologized for calling Ambrose off before taking it back. And then Ambrose says that he doesn't need to talk to make his point, and they go face to face. Then The Miz steps in, says that this is his show. He invited them both out here to talk, not fight. And so there's a lot to talk about. Like, who would have thought they ever sent even even 6 months ago that Ziggler would be competing for the WWE World Heavyweight title at Summerslam. So a lot of people had him written off, thinking he was a flop, like the Ghostbusters reboot. Then Ziggler came into the WWE with promises and had success, but he fizzed out. He says, however, through his need to prove the many critics wrong, he's in a career resurgence. He said, what happened if Ziggler loses at SummerSlam? And then Ziggler said he's not worried about after SummerSlam. He's only worried about this Sunday and the WWE Championship. Then Ambrose Mercer says that this is the new Dolph Ziggler with laser focus. So a lot of people think Ziggler has turned the corner, but he doesn't buy it. Then Miz says that Miz trying to talk, but Ziggler yells him to keep his mouth shut. And Ziggler asks what Ambrose wants from him. And then there was a chant, shut your mouth chants because of that, what Ziggler said. And then that does Ambrose want him to admit that he used the critics as fuel for success? And does he want him to admit that even he said to him over the last 3 weeks made him want to kick his head off his neck? The Ziggler says that Ambrose is right, but Ambrose will have to admit that after SummerSlam that he was the last push that put him over the edge to beat him for the title. And then Ambrose says that really powerful stuff. So let's say that he wins somehow and proves everyone wrong. So does he think his life will transform and the critics will be quiet? He says again, the title is when it starts getting really hard. All the critics, doubters, and demons are still there, only with the bigger target. They both know that Ziggler doesn't like pressure. He can't handle it. That's why he never grabbed the ball and scored a touchdown. He said that Ziggler is happy of being the sarcastic star of his own crappy movie. Then Ambrose starts saying that the chip on Ziggler's shoulder is huge. It'll weigh him down and bury him because he never felt pressure like he'll feel at SummerSlam. And he says that Ziggler will get schooled, beat up, and embarrassed. And he says Ziggler will prove somehow something to everyone by proving that he doesn't want it bad enough and will never get it. And Ziggler says that Ambrose doesn't know a damn about him. The only thing Ambrose knows is that he'll have to dig down deep this Sunday. It'll still won't be enough. Ambrose says it doesn't have enough to put him away. It won't be enough. It won't be enough. And it says as Ambrose reaches down deep and pulls out his hair to look for one last move. And then this is when Ziggler hit him with a super kick. Oh my God, it was great. That was a great promo for the match. I have to say, I'm looking forward to the WWE Championship match more than the WWE Universal title. And this is when I hate. This is when it got worse with commercial breaks, because somehow during the commercial break after that promo, The Miz was talking trash about Apollo Crews, and then but then he kept calling Apollo Crews Apollo Creed. And then Crews' music plays. He came out there. He tried to correct Miz. He said he's Apollo Crews. And then Miz called him Apollo Creed one more time, in which Apollo Crews delivered the spin out power bomb on him. Well, it's a start for the build up, but and then afterwards we had a 12-man tag team match between the team of the USO, American Alphas, and the Hype Brothers versus the Vaudevillains and the Ascension. And this match was just to show how good the American Alphas were, because they did a little bit of wrestling before, and then they started having the old-fashioned everyone get in a ring to fight. And the American Alphas won the match for the team doing their finisher. Yeah. Good match. And they haven't even made an announcement about the new tag team titles. I guess it'll be the WWE Universal Tag Team titles. And then the show backstage that Dean Ambrose was getting pissed off in the locker room because of what happened. And then they made an announcement that Roman's going to face Dean Ambrose later on. And then the next match was Naomi versus Eva Marie. And this is the third match that Eva Marie had in the main roster. And she hasn't wrestled yet, because the first time that she was supposed to wrestle against Becky Lynch, her ankle broke. The second time that she had a match against Becky Lynch, she had a wardrobe malfunction. And then later on, during a little promo, she came out there, because, last week it turned to a match between Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. She made her debut last week. And during that match, where Becky Lynch had the upper hand during that match, Eva Marie arrives with her top back on. This gave Alexa Bliss the distraction to deliver a finisher to Becky Lynch, and she won. And you know what? There's only one good thing about this match between Naomi and Marie, because Naomi had this awesome entrance. She had this oh my god, this is the best in-ring entrance I have ever seen, because the lights went off and Naomi came out there, and the only thing you could see are because she wore the shoes with the lights on the bottom of the feet. You see her moving her feet to see the lights. And then suddenly she threw she had a cloak on or something. And it revealed that she had all these little neon patterns all over her outfit. It was awesome. And she was dancing, crunking, twerking. It was awesome. And she walked out there with the lights were off, and she had the neon lights and everything. And it was the best ring entrance I ever seen. Way better than Finn Balor's little theme, little entrance. But unfortunately, we will never see Naomi wrestle at SmackDown because they made an announcement that Eva Marie was tied up in traffic, so they canceled the match. Yeah, great way to promote the women's revolution. That you do this. I mean, come on. I mean, this was Naomi's best entrance ever, and you're just gonna ruin it with not having with Eva Marie not there to wrestle. But later on, this is not gonna be the. But they are gonna finally meet up. But that's later on. And also, they made an announcement that Kurt Hawkins was gonna come back to. SmackDown, and I don't know. They came and then they. I don't know. I didn't like this little promo of his return because they came up with these stupid facts about Kurt Hawkins. The first one says that he doesn't flush toilets. He scares the crap out of them, and that's just stupid. I mean, yeah, Kurt Hawkins and Trent Beretta were a tag team. They were the tag team champions. They were great. Then they said Kurt Hawkins to NXT, not the NXT of today, but into NXT Redemption, in which former NXT contestants got to fight for a contract, and then it just spiraled out of control, in which they kept the same 3 wrestlers on NXT Redemption for weeks until the transition from SCW to the good NXT, not the shitty NXT you see today. I mean, they had Kurt Hawkins there, his remaining career at the WWE, and now they bring him back, but then they give him this stupid promo of his return. I mean, that Shelton Benjamin's because of Shelton Benjamin's injury, he's not going to make his debut anytime soon. But I hope he doesn't come to the WWE because they're going to ruin him. And then it was Randy Orton versus Heath Slater. And this was just a squash match between Heath Slater and Randy Orton, but it wasn't the one that you predicted, because throughout the entire match, Randy Orton just beat him up, but then for some strange reason, he gets himself disqualified, and he starts beating up Heath Slater. And delivers an RKO to Heath Slater, so I'm guessing this is just him trying to psych out Brock Lesnar. And, as Randy Orton was about to leave the ring, Bray Wyatt's little video starts to play, and then it had him walking down there with Eric Rowan. And then there was this moment in which Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton were staring at each other, and Randy Orton walked away. So I'm guessing somewhere down the line, Randy Orton's going to go one-on-one against Bray Wyatt. And I cannot wait to see that match. But, yeah. Okay, and then the next match was Eric Rowan versus Dean Ambrose. And I don't know, I think this match was just to show how Ambrose was still pissed off because of what Dolph Ziggler did him with a super kick. He sold it, and then this is a sort of short match in which ended with Eric Rowan trying to powerbomb Ambrose, but Ambrose slides out and delivers a rebound clothesline and delivers the Dirty Deeds for the win. And afterwards, after Ambrose left, because during this match, Bray Wyatt was in his rocking chair, and it's been years since we've seen him in his rocking chair. And then after the match, Bray Wyatt got up. He had Eric Rowan's mask. He threw it down and walked away from Eric Rowan. So I'm guessing, I don't know, this might mean that the Eric Rowan's going to get kicked out of the Wyatt family. I don't know. And then they had a women's tag team match between Natalya and Alexa Bliss versus Carmella and Becky Lynch. So I'm guessing Natalya's going to treat Alexa Bliss like her protege because, when they were announcing the matches, announcing the superstars, it had Alexa Bliss massaging Natalya's shoulder. So I'm guessing Alexa Bliss is going to be her pupil. And I have to say the action during this match was good. Carmella had some good moves. She did a head scissor takedown on Natalya, and then she did the moonwalk. And I mean, as the action was getting really good, but they had Natalya and Becky Lynch did a double cross by on each other. And then Eva Marie's music played, so she finally arrived from traffic. I don't know. She acts like she was raring to go, but then Naomi's music starts to play, and then Naomi starts to chase Eva Marie down to the ring, and Eva Marie went inside the ring, and Naomi's about to catch up with her, but then Natalya attacked Naomi, and then this led to Becky Lynch deliver a disarmor to Natalya for the win. Yeah, God, this is horrible. So Carmella and the others win, and it was announced later on that there's going to be a 6 women's tag team match between Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi versus Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and Eva Marie. So I guess she's going to make her debut on Sunday. Yeah, good build up. Then the next match was Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena for the main event. So, oh, wait a minute. Before that, I want to talk about 2 things that happened backstage. One was Heath Slater was about to sign a contract to be on Smackdown, but I don't know. Heath Slater was starting to say some stuff. He's shown Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton no mercy. And then he started confusing Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon with Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley. He says that Mick Foley said that he loves his reality show. And then talk about Stephanie something, I don't know. But then as Heath Slater was about to sign a contract, I don't know, he says that he confusing Shane with Stephanie. He said that she looks beautiful. And then Shane takes the contract back away. And then another thing that happened backstage was Baron Corbin attacking Kalisto again, because last week he attacked him because Kalisto cost him the shot at the United States title. And so they fought him again. So I'm guessing this is going to lead up to a match, either at kickoff or at the Summerslam pay-per-view. And then it was Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena in the main event. It had AJ Styles at commentators table. I have to say this was the biggest botch match of all time. I mean, there's so many botches, and I was laughing throughout the entire match because of the moves that Cena did, especially those drop kicks. I mean, they were ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, Alberto Del Rio really gave this to John Cena. He had John Cena with multiple finishers. Uh, uh, I don't know. This was such a botchy match between these two. And somehow, after all those finishers that the all those finishers that Alberto Del Rio was given to Cena, Cena only did an attitude adjustment once and he won the match. And then AJ Styles gets up from the table and then lowers the phenomenal forearm to Cena. And then Styles yells at Cena, "I'm sick and tired of hearing the future goes through John Cena. This Sunday, when I beat you, Cena, I will be the face that runs the place. You say that you love the WWE. That's great because I'm going to make your passion your prison. As I already told you once, boy, your time is up. My time is now." And then, for some strange reason, Cena gets the power. He gets a second win. It delivers an attitude adjustment to Styles. And then he gets to steal steps, put him against the table, then picks up Styles, walks up the stairs, and then delivers an AA through the commentator's table. And yeah, even with John Stewart's help, AJ Styles is going to get squashed. And he's going to get buried. So, yeah. Two shows that had no significant build-up except for the WWE World Heavyweight title. That's the only promo that I liked. I have to say, the United States title comes in second. Third, Apollo Crews' attack on The Miz. Have to say, these two build-ups were just awful. Especially this new title you're gonna make. The WWE Universal title. I have to say, these build-ups for these SummerSlam matches were awful. I have to say, this was one of the worst go-home shows ever. Yeah. uh, yeah. Worst promo ever, and had a chance to build it up, but as usual, WWE dropped the ball. So, yeah, so I'm just going to end it here, and hopefully SummerSlam can be better. But let's face it, 3 pay-per-views are coming on this weekend. Friday, Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor, which Jay Lethal will face Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor World's Heavyweight title. Then that's on Friday. On Saturday is NXT TakeOver in New York too, but I don't know what's going on with there. I stopped watching NXT ever since they decided not to build up superstars, but you know, get pros, then ruin their gimmicks. Yeah. And then Sunday we have SummerSlam, so I'm looking forward to Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, because I finally got to watch Ring of Honor live on when it was broadcasting. You can catch Ring of Honor. You can like watch it, like if you're watching on television stuff. And I'm not talking about a recording of Ring of Honor. I mean Ring of Honor as it broadcasts. I mean, that was a great match at the beginning, and it had the contract signing of Jay Lethal and Adam Cole. And then Jay Lethal was attempting to try to cut off Adam Cole's hair because of Adam Cole cutting off Jay Lethal's hair with scissors. That was awesome because when Jay Lethal was about to sign the contract, he put a pair of scissors down the table, and then he started attacking him. And he cut off a little bit of Adam Cole's hair, and I cannot wait to see that match on Friday. I'm going to try to watch the TNA last week because Damian Sandow made his debut in TNA. And I predicted that was going to happen. That when he leaves the WWE, he's going to TNA, and I'm going to watch it and see what's going to happen. And I'm going to watch the Bobby Lashley versus James Storm match. And I don't know when I don't know if they're still going to have Bound for Glory in October. Because since EC3 won the title shot at Bound for Glory, I don't know if they're going to put Bound for Glory a few months ahead or just keep it the way it is. But once again, a Raw fail, botches, people leaping from the barricade to attack the wrestlers. Crappy build-up for the women's division. No plans for new titles. Cruiserweight division is still in question, and I hope you enjoy this. Hit the like button if you think this is awesome. Make some comments about what you think about Raw Smackdown. And I'm going to give you the Summerslam review after SummerSlam concludes, and I'll talk to you later then. Thank you and good night.